Is there anybody listening? Is there anyone that sees what's going on? Read between the lines, criticize the words they're selling. Think for yourself and feel.
Welcome back to the trailer park. I am Chanda-Masta, and we are finally home after 2 weeks. What a crazy adventure I've had. I can't wait to share it with you guys. I brought you a little clip. We're going to do a little show and tell of my vacation. And here, let me get all the chats brought in. How is everybody this Monday morning? Yeah, hello, Monday. We're here. We got so much to talk about. Oh my gosh, this is a huge, huge deck. I'm bringing big deck energy again today, but I haven't done a show in 2 weeks, so we got a lot to talk about. There's a few things I brought that kind of hung over from the last 2 weeks that we need to talk about, and of course, there's a lot of shit we need to talk about that's happening currently. We're going to talk about Russell Brand. We're going to talk about the March to World War III. I got a couple of kind of oddities on the deck to show you, so it's going to be a fun show. Hopefully, I can get back into the swing of it. You know, I feel I'm a little rusty today. Okay, let's see. Hello, Rumble. You're up and running. Hello, Kick. Oh, we actually have viewers on Kick. Good morning, Kick. And the Rokfin. The Rokfin is up. And of course, the YouTubes. We got so many hanging out in the YouTubes already. Let's see. Jax Page is here. Good morning, Jackson. I got your message. You want to talk to the manager? We're going to take care of that this week, I promise. Kim, good to see you. Snow Leopard's here. Salty Digital Dive. Kate, always holding it down in all the chats. I appreciate you more than I can tell you, Kate. And I'm going to say some pretty shocking shit today on today's show. Some of you might get it, some of you might not. I'm going to run that risk because other people are coming at it from a different angle than I am. Good morning, Kim. Good to see you. Let's see who else is here. Popeye. Good morning, Popeye. I'm sure Dingo's out there somewhere. Dingo, are you out there? Sometimes Dingo's hanging out in the other chats. Okay, we're going to get started, and then I will just shout the chat out as we go. Yes, the eyes have it. Thank you, Kate. The eyes do have it. Fair use. We are back on YouTube this morning. And, you know, YouTube keeps updating its community guideline policies. And now they say, remember, you used to do the 3 strikes, you're out shit. Yeah, no more 3 strikes. They just don't like what you're doing. You're out of here. That is their new policy. So, you know, every day on YouTube is living on the edge. We never know if we're going to be back tomorrow, but we love our YouTubers. Hey, Keith Hayes, good to see you. How you doing? And so we're just going to keep going until they freaking throw us off. But you know what? That makes me proud that I'm telling some damn truths enough to get thrown off. So we shall see. We shall see. This is the part of the show where I beg for money. So if you want to help me out, you can support the show by hitting the link tree or the spot fund. Of course, we have PayPal too. All of the links are in the description below. QR codes. I got QR codes all over the damn place. See, look. So if you want to help me out, of course, we're not doing GoFundMe anymore. We're trying to stay away from the evil platforms, right? So let's see if I can hide a few of these. I'll bring them back towards the end of the show, but the links are always in the description below. And yeah, there's the PayPal if you kindly do. Okay, guys. So how was my vacation? I see a lot of you asking, how was my vacation? Well, you guys know I had a couple of plans for this vacation. Of course, I was traveling with a really good friend of mine who just spoiled the shit out of me. Can I tell you that? You guys spoil me. The adventures that I've had in my life are not because I managed to pull them together or do it. It's always the kindness of others that take me on these grand adventures. You know, I got to once stay at the Hilton in downtown Chicago. Kindness of others. That is probably the only time in my life I will ever stay in like a 5-star hotel. It was awe-inspiring to me, right? And then, of course, I got to go to a festival this weekend. I got to go to the Gorge Amphitheater in Eastern Washington, which is about a 6-hour drive from where I'm at. The drive wasn't too bad, but Uh, I want to talk about these festivals because so many of them go bad, right? But mine, this one I went to, was amazing when they're done right. They're a blast. But most of them are not done right. Most of them are just a money grab, which they're all money grabs. But if they don't, if they don't fulfill their promise to give you a good goddamn time, then they're just taking your money. And so at the same time that I was having a good time at a festival, there was a lot of people here in the country on the East Coast that were having a terrible time. So we're going to talk about the Blue Ridge Festival. But I brought you guys a little show and tell of my trip. So we started out, we headed over to Yakima, Central Washington, Eastern Washington. It's very conservative. It's very much high plains, like farmland. And so it's very conservative out there. And I think it was probably a good thing for me to go see how the other half lives, right? Because I live in a very blue area. I mean, we're kind of purple since Trump, but when you don't get out of your bubble and you don't travel, you don't tend to have empathy for those who need it, right? And that's one thing I will tell anybody. Traveling opens your mind. It broadens your horizon and it makes you relate to other people. That's why I think travel is so important. So whether you're, poor, rich, whatever, anytime somebody's ever said to me road trip, I'm like, I'm down, let's go. So this was one of those times. So I brought you a little 10-minute video kind of compilation of some video and some pictures of my trip. I'll probably pause it and kind of explain to you what's going on in some of the pictures, but I had the most amazing time. The weather was beautiful. The concert was a fucking amazing. And of course, I'm going to close the show today with a song that was wrote by Jelly Roll, definitely not performed by him because YouTube will give me a copyright. But I want you guys to hear what I went and listened to, because the thing about Jelly Roll is a artist who kind of started out in kind of almost like a rap hip hop type of genre. He's a very, very big man. He's very large. I'd say he's over 400, right? So, which is common for America because of the unhealthy food we eat, right? The unhealthy lifestyles we live. But Jelly understands the plight of the poor because he's been poor his whole life. And, a lot of his songs talk about being in county jail and trying to better yourself and having kids and then addiction. And I mean, his last album before this one was called Addiction Kills. And his message when he's on stage is fuck big pharma. There is literally hundreds of thousands of kids who are waking up today without a parent because they've overdosed. We have got to look at addiction in a different way in this country. And I love his message. His message is fuck big pharma. And so this is my trip to the Gorge, Washington. I can't remember what the festival was called. It was called the Revival Tour, I want to say, or Back Road Baptism. So this was very, very kind of a conservative crowd. It was kind of weird because Jelly brought in a much younger, more hip crowd. It wasn't, cowboy hats and that, because he does, hip hop and rap music. But of course, Eric Church was the closer. So he is very conservative. So it was a real mix in the concert. It was kind of crazy. So here we go. We start out the first day in Yakima, and I got to stay on a farm. You guys know I love a big farm, and, we talk about gardening a lot. And so it was awesome to be on a working farm that was owned by a very conservative couple. And it just makes me remember that we're not the only ones in the country, us leftists, there's so many people fighting to preserve their way of life. So let's check it out. There isn't music to any of this because I didn't want to take copyright. So this was the first night we stayed at Airbnb in Yakima. It's called the Bunkhouse. And that was my bunk in the bunkhouse. I enjoyed the bunk. What do you have to say? That's what you had to say. Really? That's Dick and Jane.
It's a duck, duck, goose. Like, it should be duck, duck, turkey.
Duck, duck, turkey. Where'd the goats go? There was a bunch of goats. Some little goaties. It was hot. Go tell your goat friends to come over here. Go tell them. Is that what you had to say about it? Yeah. You want to be an internet star? You do? Okay. My friends, this was a little disturbing. I don't know what they were looking at. There was lots of pigs on the farm. Oh my God, they were so cute. Little oink oinks. Are you guys something to say? You gonna tell me about it? Oh, sorry guys. Magpies, you guys know how much I love crows and magpies.
Hi, Mrs. Magpie. Are you Grandma? You have lots to say to me. I didn't bring you any shiny baubles. Oh, there it goes. Magpie. I am in Yakima, Washington. You can see some of the hills around me. I am at a working farm called the Bunkhouse. It's really nice. It's got lots of sunflowers and it's got a pool. There's a pool down there. Big old marijuana plant. See that plant in the way distance? That's a huge marijuana plant. And then this is our Airbnb. It's just like a little RV rental, you know. It's nice, it's comfortable. It's got a big bathroom for one of these. But it's a total farm. Here, let's go see the pigs. There's the pigs. We didn't know it was a working farm when we rented the overnight stay. Here's the piggies. Where's all the babies? Where's the spotted one? Hello, pigs. Come here, babies. Hey, Grandma. Where's everybody else at? There's like 5 pigs in here, but they must all be taking a nap. Lots of flies. The one thing about staying on a farm, you are dealing with the flies. And it's already hot here. It's 10:30 and it's probably about 80 degrees, I'd say. It's going to be a scorcher in Eastern Washington today. These people's garden, oh my gosh, you guys know I am the trailer park gardener, but their garden, it's amazing. Look, there we go. Now you can see it. Isn't that cool? And so that's just one of them. Over on the other side, right here's their chickens, goats, turkeys. Gosh, there's all kinds of stuff. And then on the other side of the fence, you see that's another full plot garden of corn and stuff like that. The chickens are cool. There's more chickens too on the other side. Okay, so today we are headed off to the gorge. It's about maybe a 2-hour drive, and then we're gonna set up camp, and then we're gonna go see Jelly Roll in concert tomorrow night. So I'll try to be back, make you guys a little bit of a video of my trip. Talk to you later.
Sorry, I don't know how I got. That's so weird. I don't know how I got muted. So, anyways, okay, to give you guys a little bit of context, now I'm at the gorge. I'm waiting to get in. There was a shooting in June at the gorge. So the whole campground had been shut down for the remainder of the summer. This was the first show back. So Friday night, there was a 16-mile long pileup of cars trying to get through security into the campground at the gorge. And they were literally searching your car. Like, they would pull you out of the car, hands up, they would wand you, then they'd take a dog and let the dog go through your entire car. Now, this is Washington State. Marijuana is legal in Washington State. It's a campground. You're allowed to bring in alcohol and marijuana, but they are still looking for illicit substances. So here we are in line with all of these young kids. You know, we're old ladies compared to the rest of this crowd, right? And my friend is a social worker who I am with. And we're in a fucking minivan of all goddamn things, right? We've got all of our camping gear with us. We've got everything. And of course, we have weed on us. We're both heavy smokers, whatever, but nothing over the legal limit. Washington State, you're allowed to have an ounce of weed with you. And so we get up to security finally after about an hour and a half of waiting. We were lucky. We hit it in the morning. It wasn't too bad. They'd cleared out the crowds from the day before. And we get out of the car. They wand us. And as they're wanting us, I see a whole group of security on one side of our car digging through our bags, and they're like freaking out. And we're like, what is going on? And so they call us over, and the first thing they want to know about is my girlfriend's prescription pills. Like, she just brought enough for 2 days, right? Whatever. And they were not happy about that because they were not in the proper bottles or whatever. So that was okay. They let us go back to where we're getting wanded again because for some reason my bra strap kept like setting off the wands. So then I hear them and they walk up to us and they go, "We got to ask you ladies something." And we were like, "Well, okay." And they were like, "Just how much marijuana do you have on you?" And we were like, "What? Not that much. I mean, I've got like 4 joints on me and, like it's under the legal limit for Washington State." And he pulls out one of our bags of kratom. They thought our kratom was ground up marijuana. And of course, we had a lot of kratom on us because my friend, she also is a kratom user. And we were like, "Oh my God, you guys are idiots. You need to learn. If you're going to be hosting a concert for a man who fights against Big Pharma, you need to learn what kratom is, right?" And then 2 seconds later, they pull a thing of Narcan out of my friend's dash. And they're like, "What the hell is this?" And we're like, "You've never seen Narcan before?" She's like, "I'm a social worker. I always have Narcan on me." So these security guys just thought we were rolling in, getting ready to throw down the gauntlet with our kratom and our Narcan and our weed. It was crazy. So they finally let us through. And there's different levels of camping, as you'll see in my video. And we got the terrorist camping, which is a little bit more expensive. And I hid a nuke under my bra strap, right? So we finally get down to our level and you get wristbands and you're not allowed to leave. Once you're in your little campsite, you're not allowed to drive around. You're not, because there's a lot of people walking and it's a gorge. So it's all uphill and there's different levels. And we ended up on the very bottom level, which is the nicest level. We were the closest to the venue. My girlfriend really spoiled the shit out of me for this trip. I mean, it was all pretty much like, well, I wouldn't say 100% VIP, but we got a lot of VIP treatment in this. There was beautiful trailers, shower trailers. So some of the camping on some of this, you didn't get a bathroom. You got a porta potty. That's all. If you wanted to pay more, you could get a shower trailer and a bathroom trailer. And they have a nice strip of little sod grass that you can put your tent on. And I was literally on the ledge of the gorge. And it was crazy. You're going to see the videos. So, okay, let's go back to the video. You guys can see. There we are pulling in the gorge in George. That's my view. That was the view the whole weekend. And yes, I'm loving every minute of it. And yes, I'm ripped out of mind. You can see how. Oh, good morning. Shanda without makeup.
I am out at the gorge in George, Washington. I wanted to show you the view I woke up to this morning. It's so amazing. So I'm going to turn the camera a little. You can see it behind me. The gorge. I've never camped this close to the actual gorge itself. Right there's the venue. You can see the lights over there. We had front row seats to last night's concert. We're going to go see it again up close tonight. But isn't that gorgeous? Oh my God. But the water level is so low down there. Let me see if I can zoom in. Look at how low the water level is. I've been coming here since I was a kid and that's crazy. It's shocking how low our water sources are in Washington State. You know, growing up here and driving over the Columbia every summer, it's like a punch in the gut when you pull up to it and where'd all the water go? You're just like, where's the water? So we're gonna probably do some breakfast and get dressed and get ready to head out for our concert. We have VIP shuttle, so we get to go through the back door to get in. That'll be nice.
Couple more pictures I took. Now, we didn't see one chemtrail for the first 2 days, and when I mentioned it, guess what? They chemtrailed the shit out of us within an hour of me saying, "Look, no chemtrail." That's our camp. Like, see how they put the nice sod down? So we're literally on the cliff right there. Oh, yeah, me and my cowboy hat.
And welcome to the Gorge in George, Washington, that is. And I am out camping. I'm going to see Jelly Roll and Eric's church tonight. I listened last night because we are so close. I'm going to show you here in a second where I am at. You can hear sound check for tonight's show going on in the background. And this is what I woke up to this morning. Isn't it just glorious? So amazing. Just beautiful. And then the venue's over there. And then if I could flip my camera, it doesn't let me flip my camera. I could show you kind of the camp area. So this is called the Terrace. And we are at the lowest. As you can see behind me, there's levels. And you pay more per level and you get more stuff. So we have like a shower trailer and bathroom trailers. And then we get picked up and taken to like a side gate to get in. We don't have to get into the general admission, but it's been a fucking blast. But I gotta tell you, Jelly Roll killed it last night. Eric Church, you could hear the crowd. The crowd loved Jelly Roll. He should have been the closer, not the opener, just saying. But we'll see how well he does tonight. I'm super excited. Having fun, have a little bit of a headache because it was 88 degrees yesterday as we were setting up camp. It's hot today, but I'm staying in the shade today. So I will have some more adventures for you guys as I finish this up. We're going to stay tonight, and then tomorrow we've got to trek back over to Western Washington, and I got to get down to the airport to catch a shuttle to get home. So grand adventure tomorrow. But last night we stayed here, and the night before that we stayed in Yakima, and it's just been a blast. It's been beautiful weather, and so nice to just tune out for a while.
Sunsets were gorgeous. Don't worry, guys. We're getting to the concert soon. I got you lots of footage from the concert. Like, you can see it was like an old farmstead before they turned it into camping. Yes, there's critters that live down there. They attacked our camp. It was a trash panda and a deer working together. And I did shots of weed before I went. That is a weed. There's no alcohol in it. It's just 100 milli THC. Yeah, we got to ride in a Polaris all the way to the charter bus, which was a party charter bus with lights, and we were so close to the stage. So close to the stage. And this is the Cliffside Bar. So let me tell you, we had the terrace package, which got us the ride to the shuttle bus, and then the shuttle bus took us the back way into the gate, which we just, there was like, very few people, whoever was on the bus trying to go through that security gate. I heard it was a couple hour wait to get through security on the general admission. So earlier in the day, we got an email. Apparently they hadn't sold out the venue because it was Sunday night, and they were offering much cheaper VIP packages, and they have a couple of different bars that you can VIP into, and we VIP'd into the Cliffside Bar, which comes with its own air-conditioned bathroom. You don't have to use the porta potties. You're down right next to the stage. They had food, they had alcohol, and a beautiful terrace that you could sit out and look out over, the gorge. So that's where we are. Beautiful views from the terrace. They had a bunch of saddles that you could sit on. Kind of crazy. Earthquake, that place is gone. My merch and drinks. A drink was like $30. Don't even ask how much a sweatshirt was. And then Jelly hits the stage. That was my cowgirl drink. DC.
Simon Jackson. I am so real. Never meant to make it out. I apologize to you, girl. You got what I need, but you say he's just a friend.
Say he's just a friend.
Oh, baby, you got what I need, but you say he's just a friend. But you say he's just a friend. Oh, baby, you got what I need. But you say he's just a friend. But you say he's just a friend. Oh, baby,
You got what I need. You say he's just a friend. But you say he's just a friend. Oh, baby, you got what I need. You say he's just a friend. But you say he's just a friend. Oh, baby,
I just brought you one little clip so I wouldn't get copyright. I have more video. And there's our way out. We stopped at the Petrified Forest and Vantage. And yeah, giant meteor, bring back the dinosaurs. And yes, we're a bunch of boomers trying to be hip. You're absolutely right, Snow Leopard. That's exactly what we were. Sometimes it's fun to go relive your youth, though. Come on. I just absolutely. We are one big dysfunctional family. Fuck Big Pharma. There you are. There's my trip. So I'm getting a little better camera work. I know it's a little shaky. We will get there, but I had a blast. But you know, it really made me think about these festivals, right? Because we've seen so many go bad in the last couple of years, right? We just saw Burning Man turn into a fucking shit show. What about the Travis Scott concert where, you know, 11 people were killed. Now we see these promoters all over the country. They're pushing these big festivals, right? Some of them are rock festivals, some of them are country festivals, some of them are pop festivals. But here's the thing. The promoters are in it for one thing and one thing only, and that is to make a buck. So they do crazy shit like you can't use cash at all while you're in one of these events. None of them across the country allow you to use cash. Why do they do that? So that way they can take 40%, 50% from the vendors that are actually there. So they can track their point of sales. You can't use cash anywhere. They've got preloaded cards. They've got all kinds of shit like that, right? And it wasn't a problem at the festival that I was at, but there was a festival this weekend, and it was called the Blue Ridge Rock Festival. It was supposed to be the biggest rock festival in the country. It was in Virginia, and it turned into a fucking shit show. And it made me really appreciate how great my adventure was. So this was the Blue Ridge Rock Festival. It was 100% sold out from what we hear. I mean, there was so many acts there. There was Slipknot and Pantera and Five Finger Death Punch and Limp Bizkit and Evanescence and Megadeth. Who else was there? Lamb of God, Cypress Hill. There's just so many. 3 Days Grace. It was huge. Rise Against. I was like, Rage Against the Machine was there, but Oliver Anthony was there too. Now, what happened there was, for one, they let way too many fucking people into the event. Two, they got really, really bad weather. And three, the promoters did not know what the hell they were in. They had 2 water stations for 50,000 people. You got 50,000 people in 90-degree weather, and you have 2 water stations. The staff literally walked off and quit in solidarity on day 2. Like, we're done. You're not going to treat us well. We're the fuck out of here. Leaving 50,000 people in the mud, in the rain. Let's see. There was a major thunder and lightning storm. They told the whole entire venue to shelter in place or to evacuate and shelter and find shelter. They're in the middle of a fucking field at a speedway in Virginia. There is no shelter except for maybe a tree. There's so much to this festival that went wrong. You had to park 5 miles away and take a school bus that you had to pay $50 to get on to get to the event. And then to get out, you had to wait in line for 5 to 6 hours to get back on one of those school buses to get back to the parking lot. And we had our car with us the whole time. Like I would freak out to leave my car 5 miles away. If something goes wrong, you're not getting out. So the concert went sideways. I'm sure you guys have seen the video of Anthony Oliver. He's kind of standing at a campground with a bunch of people and they're singing. That was kind of just a makeshift concert that they gave some of the campers that came to this nightmare shit fest. And here's just a little breakdown of it. There's so many videos. Oh my gosh. I came across, I'm not even kidding, hundreds of videos of people complaining about how terrible this festival was.
I was getting the most requests from viewers to attend this year. It was the Blue Ridge Rock Festival in Virginia. And if there's one festival I'm glad I was on the opposite side of the country for this year, it was the Blue Ridge Rock Festival in Virginia. The self-proclaimed biggest rock festival in America has now earned the new title of Worst Festival in America and possibly one of the worst festivals ever put on. And I'm not exaggerating. If you aren't aware of what happened at this year's Blue Ridge Rock Fest, oh don't worry, I think you're going to be hearing a lot about it for a while. What was promised to be an incredible weekend with thousands of rock and metal fans celebrating together, partying, and enjoying some of metal's biggest bands turned into an actual traumatic nightmare where thousands of people were abandoned, abused, taken advantage of, and put in very real life-threatening danger. All because of a criminal organizer who's now lying about what happened. But this fuck-up was such a disaster that it's not gonna go away anytime soon because I'm about to tell you what really happened at Blue Ridge Rock Fest this year and the real reason why it was canceled and why everyone who attended is so angry. So headbang the like button, windmill the video to your friends, and stage dive onto the subscribe button. And if you're a fan of my videos, consider becoming a member of the channel. Membership started only 99 cents a month, and each one of them really helps me toward putting. Next day did see bands get to perform as promised, but by the next morning, the rest of the festival had been officially canceled. Blue Ridge's official statement on Instagram reads, "Dear Blue Ridge fans, with heavy hearts due to this weekend's continued severe weather, we must announce the cancellation of the final days of Blue Ridge Rock Festival. Your safety and well-being are our foremost concerns. We understand the disappointment this brings, and we share immensely in your sadness. Please know that this decision was made with the utmost consideration for everyone involved, and our focus now is on supporting those of you still on site. We are working diligently to provide refund details and will share that information early this week when business reopens. In the meantime, we encourage you to stay safe and take care of each other. This has been an agonizing turn of events for what was to be such a special weekend. There will be much more that we unveil over the next few days. Rest assured, we will take care of you despite these difficult circumstances. Thank you for everything. With heartfelt gratitude, Blue Ridge Rock Festival." And if you read this from an outside view, you would think, oh, well that sucks, but hey, the festival did the best they can. Except if you ask anyone who was at Blue Ridge, and I do mean literally anyone who was there, they'll tell you that this is complete bullshit.
When they canceled the show on Saturday, it was a very small rainstorm. It was over by 2 p.m., which was when we told we would get updated. The whole ride home, me and my wife looked at clear skies and being like, why the fuck could we not see Black Label Society? Why could we not see the youth? Was it really because the bands weren't safe?
And there's people in those comments that are like, well, why is it the venue's fault for the weather? You know, why are people so mad? I need you people to understand something. They lied to us.
They canceled that festival because it was a shit show.
Let me just say that I've never seen such a universal condemnation of a festival before.
Okay, so that was just a little breakdown of it. I mean, there was so what happened was they got hit with storms on Friday and early Saturday. The damage was already done. They couldn't recover from it. It was a big mud fest. They were having a hard time. They didn't hire enough crew to get the stages set up. So all of these professional rock star bands that have been traveling for years, there's tons of videos of them. Like, this was the most unprofessional bullshit thing I've ever seen. There was no food. There was no water. There was nothing for these people. And then when they canceled it, here's the worst thing. when they canceled the concert, they let the people who were already still in the concert stay in the concert, but all the people who were holding tickets outside were told, no, we're canceling for the weather, but it was beautiful weather by then. They're like, what do you mean? Why can't I go in? They're in. And so we'll see if everybody gets their money refunded. And I guess the moral of the story is, and I didn't even think about this, when you're going to go to a festival, I don't care what festival, be sure you know who the promoters are. Is it a big promoter like Live Nation? Do they have their shit together? Are you going to get stuck bus walking 5 fucking miles with no food, no water, and no way to buy anything unless you have a credit card? So we don't think about those things. I haven't been to a concert in, 20 years. So I just wanted to bring you a little update about that. But let's get moved on. That was my show and tell. I'm glad to be back. I'm happy to be back. And let's get this show started because we got a lot to talk about. Let's start out with, well, this is kind of a tribute to the festival, but it's a United Spot.
The United Spot.
I've been weighing my crack, smoking all day, waiting for these hookers to come and do what I say, while Peter makes these indictments go away. Sitting here naked while my laptop plays, and it's a damn shame. What you think they're gonna do? People like me, cause it just isn't true. If you really think they're gonna lock me up, you're a dork. You're a dork, living in my daddy's world with full control. I do what I want and you do what you're told. This gun charge is stupid, but it's all that they'll do. I'll sell some more paintings while I sniff on this glue. Yeah. Living in my daddy's world. Hey, Dad, we're out of Parmesan.
10% to the big guy. Of course, while I was on vacation, we saw an indictment come down for Hunter Biden for lying on his gun application because he said he wasn't a drug addict. That's what they came up with everything that he's done. That's the one they decided they were gonna shut him down for. It's a distraction. It's bullshit. We all know it, whatever, but funny United Spot. My, all of the Anthony Oliver covers they've done have been hilarious. The Nancy Pelosi one was so funny. Okay, guys, let's talk about Russell Brand. And I don't think that I am just totally neutral on this. Like, I am not going to jump to any conclusion. I'm not going to say Russell's innocent. They're just trying to smear him, even though they are trying to smear him. It's obvious. These are hit fucking pieces. When you have the BBC come out after you, it's a big thing. Is it Oliver Anthony? Yeah, like I said, I don't pay much attention to it. And so we're seeing both sides of it, right? Last night there was a, hour-long special that Channel 4, which I'm assuming is a big deal in Europe, the BBC, I don't know. But they have all these women who have came forward now. Most of them, I think all of them, were in an actual relationship with Russell. And of course, he got out in front of it the day before, and he put his denial video out there saying he absolutely refutes these allegations. And there's a lot of shit that's starting to pop up now. So let's see, what is this one? Okay, so there's a text message. You guys see the text message? It's supposed to be after he allegedly assaults a woman that he's dating. He sends her a text message saying he saw blah. She kind of calls him out for it. But here's the thing. Is this an actual screenshot? The option for Apple Pay and Bitmo are at the bottom. These features did not come out until 2014. So that gives question to the validity of the text message that's out there that everybody's seeing, right? And that's pretty damning. That text message, when I read it, I was like, oh, I don't know how he's going to get around that one, But if it's just a made up screenshot, anybody can make a made up screenshot, right? I mean, you don't actually see who the sender or the receiver is on this screenshot. The screenshot of it's really small right here. But so any of this shit can be fabricated. That's what I see. And let's see, the time and Sunday Times have been contacted by several more. They're saying that more women have came forward since the allegation dropped 3 days ago, but we don't know who those women are yet. And then look at this shit. You know, Europe, they love a good scandal, right? Of course, they love their rag mags over there. And I'm sure it's The Sun and all those crappy ass ones. The Observer, we know The Guardian went after him. It's headline news for them, right? They don't have nothing better to do, so they're just going to beat the drum on this. Yeah, allegedly groomed a 10-year-old girl. I'm going to tell you guys, I was married to a 27-year-old musician when I was 16. When I was 16, I met him when I was 15. Did my parents like it? Fuck no, they didn't like it. But you know what? At 15, almost 16, I knew goddamn good and well what I was doing. I knew that it was inappropriate, but I didn't care. I was so mature that I managed to land an older guy, you know, and one that was a rock star at that. So I kind of have to have that feeling that maybe some of these girls had that feeling, because I did. I did at 16, right? And then when you look at the allegations of what they're claiming, you guys, I gotta tell you, I can't call foul on every guy who tried to shove a dick down the throat when I was 20 or 16. I can't, because that's the reality of the world, whether you like it or not, whether it's acceptable or not. That is the reality of the world. And you know it out there, women. You know it. You know it. So, I mean, I believe all women. Show me some proof. And the proof that I'm seeing so far has been contrived and conjured. And then you have women out here coming out and defending him. So let's check out this one. This woman came forward.
I actually know who this is about, and I have the receipts. I was contacted in June by a journalist regarding a video I made about a certain celebrity and a weekend that we shared together. The video is kind of viral. It's on my page somewhere if you want to go see it. And that certain somebody was, as most of you will be aware, Mr. Brand. They weren't going to use my story because it didn't fit the narrative for their documentary, because he wasn't an asshole to me. But here are some of the messages. Obviously, I will take out the person's name and stuff. We had a phone call. She contacted me for more information, and I didn't contact her back because I kind of felt like it would be mean. Anyway, there you go. Put your bets on. It's a documentary about the one and only Mr. Russell Brand. And just a fun fact. Astrology-wise, the lunar nodes of destiny have shifted into Aries right on top of his Mars and Moon. Written in the stars, baby. Okay, bye.
Okay, so there you have a woman who was contacted by these same people who were building this documentary and coming after Russell. Now, what has Russell done the last couple of years, right? We all knew who Russell was. He was in Hollywood. He was married to Katy Perry. You know, you guys know I deep dive into the Hollywood sex scene a lot. And I had seen and heard a lot of things about his bad behavior over the years. And then, you know, then we saw him when he got married, he settled down, he had kids, right? Why? Because we all fucking grow up. I'm not the same person I was 15 years ago. Oh my God, not even freaking close, right? So I have a feeling that Russell addressed his demons. He was very open. He's always been open about his sex addiction, his other addictions, right? Drugs and alcohol aren't the only things you get addicted to. I could get addicted to concert festivals because you get such a good high and rush, right? Sex obviously was that for him. And it wasn't, it was a well-known secret in Hollywood. It wasn't even a damn secret, right? So I think that this is an effort to go after Russell because he's been speaking some major truths, you know, but they're doing a good job of getting out there and smearing him. And some of the stuff from his past is not playing well. Now, I can't play you this video because the BBC will take down. This is a Russell Brand interview with pedophile Jimmy Savile on BBC Radio 2, released May 26th of 2007. Now, mind you, that was what, you know, long time ago, 16, 17 years ago. I don't know how much of the Savile information was out there in 2007. We definitely know the creeper that Jimmy Savile is now, Savile. and the terrible things that he did. And so, you know, Russell being a part of BBC Radio and Jimmy Savile being this you know, icon for BBC TV, right? He hosted some kids show in the 60s and 70s, and he was beloved by the whole country. Fuck, he was best friends with the prince, right? Now king. And they kind of swept it under the rug. They didn't want anybody to know about this. They've been really quiet about the whole Jimmy Savile story. And when you know this story, it is disgusting. The guy had a set of fucking keys to a mental institution where he would just go in and have his way with inmates or with the patients of this young people. And so, but that interview is so bad, guys. It's so damning. Russell's talking about assistants and how he's sending his sexy assistants and they'll do whatever. You'll have to go listen to it for yourself. It's up on YouTube. I'm sure it's all over X, but I'm not going to play it, just for one, because it's very damning to Russell, and two, that BBC will get me. But I want to be fair and even. Oh no, it started playing. I want to be fair and even when I'm bringing you guys this information. You guys know I ain't here to be on nobody's side, you know. It's not like I'll ever be on the Russell Brand show. But of course, I've always enjoyed his comedy. I thought Get Him to the Greek was hilarious. But I always had my questions, and you guys know that. How many times have I sat right here in this chair and said, I question where Russell Brand came from? What is the 33 tattoo about? How do you be in the middle of Hollywood's Illuminati machine and then just step away? I never understood that, because normally if they get their claws into you, you don't get away. Why? Because of Epstein type leverage that they get on you, right? And you can't tell me that there isn't some video or pictures of Russell in the last 20 years being crazy. And he loved to be naked. He was always whipping his dick out. That's part of his comedy routine. I don't know. You know, our sense of humor and Europe's sense of humor are really, really different. So, you know, look at Monty Pythons and Benny Hill. They're the things they think are funny, we don't think are funny, but it doesn't mean that their culture didn't think it's funny. So, okay, I want to bring this video to you guys, but I don't want a ton of backlash, because I'm not here to promote anybody in this video, but I want us to listen to the point that he's making and talk about this point. So this is a video from Johnny Vedmore. And yes, I know Johnny's been canceled. Whitney canceled him. I don't outwardly support him. I don't, you know, I've had no contact with Johnny. I feel bad for everybody involved in that situation. I feel bad for Whitney. I feel bad for their child. You know, it's more than just one media person attacking another person, because they have a history. And so I'm going to stay out of that. That's neither here nor there. But let's listen to what Johnny has to say, because this is what I want to talk about.
They've worn out that smear of conspiracy theory. It's quite desperate, really, that they're unable to engage us on a level of, you know, discussion and reason and logic and talking about the facts. They just literally just try to shut you up with conspiracy theory. But that is wearing thin now. More and more people are going, what conspiracy theory? Where? You know, and they'll go and listen to the person they're trying to defame and, you know, stop an audience from listening to. So I think like you say, we're going through a transition. We're going through a transition from the legacy main media are clearly dying, and there's a move over to the internet, but they're not going to want the internet to be out of their reach and out of their control. So there's definitely going to be like a new media, like you're talking about, that
it's already here. It's already here. It smells. I smell, like, I look at, like, okay, I look at Redacted. I've been on Redacted. I look at Russell Brand. I look at Kim Iverson. I look at the way they advertise themselves. Like, Kim Iverson, she'll advertise herself as, like, looking basically like the mainstream media. It looks like, basically smells like it. But then it's like, you know, it's not, so they can say they're cool. But, okay, who's funding you? Who's funding you? I wouldn't mind seeing your funding. I wouldn't mind seeing your funding. If you're going to claim to be different than the rest of them, all right, show your funding. Because I think that's the state we're going to come to if we're going to trust people. Russell Brand, up there, being shown off by the Teal Media organization, this new Teal Media organization of Rumble. Rumble is Peter Thiel. I mean, Peter Thiel is the technocratic king of the future. He is an awful human being. The person who's the creator of Palantir. The thing that's named
Rumble,
after something that's so corruptible and potential evil to enter into your mind and destroy you forever is the name of his company that he can basically get. They've got data points on nearly like thousands and thousands on nearly every human alive, and they're creating all the infrastructure for all the databases, for all of the private security organizations and all of the police and all of these things that end up one system. It'll be these people. Russell Brand, so what does he say? He's this shocked look on his face every time. Oh, on his videos, shock. Look at this. This will destroy you. Same with Redact. This will kill you. Oh, the same thing.
Clickbait, isn't it? Yeah.
It's the worst thing that the dying mainstream media offer. It's the crappiest thing that they offer, and that's what the new neo mainstream media, as I'm starting to call them now, are offering you. It's the same, the dying embers of the mainstream media in a way to say, we're going to act like you and be visceral and horrible and scare you and scare tactics and use psychological, disturbing people psychologically to get your message into your head. Russell Brand wants you shocked, scared. He wants you shaking. He wants you to worry. He wants you to fear. And who's he working for? Who's funding you, Russell? Yeah, you got loads of money. Oh, you're up there, out on the technocratic stage. And who's taking over the world? The technocrats are taking over the world, aren't they? We know what's coming. The CIA, all of these people are building an infrastructure that's linked in with these exact technocratic infrastructure that's being created across the top by all of these big businesses and these people like Elon Musk and Peter Thiel, who will act like your friend to your face and who will obviously not be doing good things for you behind closed doors.
Okay, so regardless of the Whitney Johnny, I see a lot of people are shocked by that. Yeah. Regardless of that, does he have a point? He absolutely has a damn point about these platforms. Now, I have always questioned how Russell managed to grow the way he has. I know we're a small fish in a big pond. That's fine. But the tactics that are being used by these platforms against the true truers or the truth tellers are to shadow ban us, to take our viewers away, literally unsubscribe them. I'll get 20 subs in a day, they'll take 10 of them and unsub, right? I get messages all day long, Shanda, I don't know why I'm unsubbed, I never unsubbed, I'm unsubbed. They have their means and their ways. Rumble, we haven't grown on Rumble one damn bit since we got on Rumble almost a year ago. So I do have questions of where some of this funding's coming. He talks about Redacted in this. Redacted seemingly came out of fucking nowhere, guys, right? And not to say that we haven't featured Redacted. When, like I always say, I'll side with anybody who's, fighting back against this. So when they're bringing information that's important, of course, I'm going to feature it to you guys. But he does have a point when he says Elon Musk and Peter Thiel are working together to pretend to give you free speech when they're not actually giving you free speech. And yes, show us your funding. I'm not saying that about Kim. Kim's been in this space with us for a long, long time. I don't know who's funding these people, but that's what we have to have an open mind, guys. I see so many people just jumping on the I'm with Russell Crowe bandwagon because it's my confirmation bias. I'm saying I'm not getting into the middle of that shit. I will sit out here and tell you guys what I think is facts and what I think is false. But as far as, have we not learned anything over the last 8 years? How many idols did we have that we looked up to who sold us the fuck out? Bernie Sanders. I'm beginning to think Cornel West. Like, there's just so many that Jill Stein, that we put up on pedestals. And now, where are they, right? So I'm not getting into that whole thing. I'm going to keep an eye on this Russell Brand. I don't think it's going to get better. I think it's going to get worse. I think with the personality and the type of comedy that he did, there's going to be a lot more bad stuff that comes out against him. Now, can I tell you guys, as somebody with a bad past, right? When I got into this space, well, actually, when I got into politics, I literally had to go back to a couple people in my life and say, you know the worst about me. And you got to tell me that if I do get into a public forum, that you're not going to come out and attack me with, and I wouldn't say skeletons, because we all have them, right? I grew up, I was a little sexually crazy in my 20s. I admit it. That's the time I grew up in. I was a real out there, I am woman, hear me roar. I don't need a man. I'll do what I want type. And so, yeah, I think that all of us, especially if you weren't ever looking to have a career like this, you have something in your past, right? And he's got a lot of stuff in his past, but how the hell did they keep it quiet for this long? Why did they let him go this long without attacking him? Why? Because we just saw the Danny Masterson case, right? He was in a relationship with these women and they convicted him. So now was strike while the iron's hot. That's what I saw. So yeah, you guys, I know. I absolutely support Whitney. Bad relationships go bad. It doesn't mean there wasn't love there. I'm staying the hell out of people's relationship status. And I saw a lot of people when that Johnny and Whitney thing broke that were taking sides, and not me. I'm just going to back off and be like, people that were in love can be very fucking hurtful to each other. So that's all I'll say. Is Kim Iverson still on the board of directors for the Forward Party? That's a good question, DC. I don't know. Yeah, I like this little meme of Graham. It's funny. Work it Wednesday. Start your career path at Pfizer. INN. You guys crack me up. Too fucking funny. That is too funny. Okay, let's see. What else have we got on this deck? This is a local one, it looks like. So, on the 22nd anniversary of the September 11th attacks, President Joe Biden told the crowd in Anchorage that he was at ground zero the day of the attacks. That is false. Are we shocked? Biden said something that wasn't real? No freaking way. But that's not the only thing. People kept sending me videos while I was on vacation of Biden just saying batshit crazy stuff. And then doing this. Of course, this is the biofuel, whatever, the soiree they were doing. And look at this.
Nelle dichiarazioni finali ci sono. Nelle dichiarazioni finali ci sono. Nelle dichiarazioni finali ci sono.
He's like, over here. Get off that lady. Hey, we're doing something here. Can you knock it off? Talk about sexual deviant. Oh, of course, we heard the video of him telling some kid, you're a sexy kid. Well, what the hell does that mean? So this is another one. Bill and Hillary back when they were just cousins. Aw, don't you like looking back?
Our democracy is under attack, and we got to fight for it. I taught at the University of Pennsylvania for 4 years, and I used to teach political theory.
He did not teach at the... He did not teach there. He was an honorary, not even a professor. He never even gave a class. There was never one class that he fucking taught. So Biden just going around in circles lying about everything. But is he lying if it's dementia? If he actually thinks it in his damn head, is it lying? The flood in Libya happened on September 11th. Did not know that. I love Vedmar's symbols, use of Cornish, base use for sure. Let's see. This is Ducey. He gets her good, like he always does. Jean-Pierre.
So, if we're all in agreement that it is incorrect to say the 2020 election was stolen, what about the 2016 election?
Look, I'm not going to go back into history.
It was a stolen election.
It was stolen.
Stolen. He's an illegitimate president. He's an illegitimate president. Pretending to be president.
Why do you think the president is going to such great lengths to essentially prove that he beat you?
Because he didn't.
1/3 of Clinton supporters say Trump election is not legitimate.
I think he's an illegitimate president that didn't really win.
You are absolutely right. You can run the best campaign. You can even become the nominee. And you can have the election stolen from you.
The 2016 election was stolen. Got a nicer way to say that?
Say Russia hacked the election.
Russia hacked our election.
Russia hacked our election. A little louder, please.
Russia hacked our election. That was a 9/11 scale event.
This was a kind of cyber 9/11. American
cyber
institutions.
9/11.
Yes.
Russia hacked our election.
Russia, of course, hacked our election here.
Half of Clinton's voters believe the conspiracy theory that Russia hacked Election Day votes.
We know that they were into voting rolls, actual interference with the elections themselves. We know it happened.
Despite no credible evidence, 67% of Democrats believe Russia tampered with vote tallies.
Hacking the U.S. election. Hacking the U.S. election. Russia hacked our election.
The Russians hacked our election.
Russia hacked our election.
Russia hacked our election.
Russian hacking of our election. Hacking of our election.
Russia hacked our elections.
Russia hacked our elections.
A stolen election.
Russia hacked our election.
Russia hacked our election.
The universal assessment that Russia hacked our election in 2016.
Foreign governments hacked our elections.
Most young Americans consider Donald Trump an illegitimate president. An illegitimate president.
He's an illegitimate president.
Why is he illegitimate? He just won.
That's President Fox. He was the president of Mexico, and I actually got to meet him. I was at a CannaCon, and he was setting up to where Mexico would be distributors to some of the legal states in the United States for marijuana. And all that money was going back into the Mexican government. So crazy was that. I don't know. His speech he was on his way out of being president when I met him. So he kind of was in that I'm looking to make money phase that they're always in. Okay, so we know what happened in 2016. We're going to pretend like it didn't happen. We're going to continue to pretend like it didn't happen. That's what we've done for the last 8 years, right? And we've been saying for so long now that we can't address any problems that we have with 2020 until we address 2016. And now here we are going into 2024. We cannot address any problems that are going to happen with 2024 till we address the fact that we had problems in 2020 and 2016, right? But no, we're just going to keep rolling down the road like all the tires aren't flat. And yeah, we're fine. We're fine. We're going to have a totally legit election this year. And so you should be pretty passionate about the candidates because, this is the first one that we're going to have in a long time that's totally legit. I think Oz dropped this for us. Let's see. What is this? Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says, I've been saying the Democrats Party is rigging the primaries. Oh, yeah, imagine that. Ryan Knight says, this is what Bernie should have done in 2016 and 2020. Call out the DNC for rigging its primaries with superdelegates, media collusion, and secret backroom deals. I'm voting for Cornel West, but would like to see RFK run third party. The more third party candidate, the better. I don't know. What do you guys think? I don't know if I can get on board with the whole, any of them. I can't with any of them. Cornell's got problems. RFK Jr.'s got problems. At this point, if RFK Jr. wakes up and goes, oh shit, I don't have a chance in the DNC, won't sore loser laws knock him off the ballot in at least 20 states? He better figure it out before it gets too late. You can't just come out of a Democratic primary and pivot and go to the general like we wanted Bernie to do, right? Because that's the whole point. You won't be on the ballot in half the goddamn states. So did you guys see this? This is Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has been out there doing a whirlwind media tour, right? And of course, we saw the attempted assassination attempt on him on Friday night, which was foiled, thank God. Whether it was a stunt or not, I don't know. But I do know that the man's father and uncle were both assassinated by what we believe is the CIA. So if I was him, I'd be hiring my own security and not begging for Secret Service, right? When he tells the story of who killed his own father, right there would say, I want private security. I don't want anything that's coming from this federal government. But check this out. This is Bobby Lee. He's a comedian. He's an obnoxious comedian who used to be on, oh God, what was it? It's on the tip of my tongue. Anyways, he's a comedian and he's pretty raunchy. I don't think that RFK Jr. knew that before he went on this show because look at this shit.
Welcome to Tiger Valley. I'm your host, Bobby Lee.
Welcome to another episode of Tiger Belly. I am your host, Bobby Lee. He's running for President of the United States. Give Robert Kennedy Jr. a round of applause, everybody. But I also want to introduce our other guest.
So you can see Robert F. Kennedy Jr. does not look impressed. He's looking over at Dennis Kucinich like, what the fuck did you make me do here? Yeah, not a good idea. Bobby Lee was on Mad TV. I loved Mad TV. It was funnier and shit, but that's just who they are. His podcast is one of the raunchiest out there. I will tell you that for sure. So I don't know. We're going to keep an eye on it. But at this point, I'm not playing politics, guys. I am done. I am fucking done. Oh, got to do the lesser evil. Do the lesser evil. There is no lesser evil. Evil is evil. Can we not figure that shit out? I mean, speaking of evil, I don't know who made this. Yeah, that last one was Matt Orfla. We love Matt's work. He does such great medleys. But this is Machiavellian memes.
They gon' hate me for this one. Hey, you know what's really wild? Got your own son calling you a pedophile. Why you getting called that by your own child? They say Pedro Peter every time the phone down. Wow, Hunter arguing with hookers while they wearing crack. Whoa, they call it a conspiracy, but I'm saying facts. Whoa, in the mention up in Cali, but who pay for that? Whoa, the media gon' cover it up like he ain't get hacked. Whoa. Here we go again. If it was Trump Jr., it would be on CNN. This what happens when you rip into a slate of sin. This what happens when the devil knock you let him in. I don't care about who this offends. Buying crime family, they all belong in the pen. Buying loves minors, that's the real BLM. Call me what you want, but at least I ain't a damn. Wait, hold up, don't get mad at me. Am I tripping or is he in bed with Natalie? Why he recording all that? What's the strategy?
Your president.
If you do incest, you probably do bestiality. Hey, the president's son is a crackhead, but you the smartest guy, he know that's what your dad said. Is he the real president or a jack leg? Why is everyone that voted for your dad dead? Hey, you know what's really wild? Got your own son calling you a pedophile. Why you getting called that by your own child? They say Pedro Peter every time the phone down. Wow, Hunter arguing with hookers while they wearing crack. Whoa, they call it a conspiracy, but I'm saying facts. Whoa, in the mention up in Cali, but who pay for that? Whoa, the media gon' cover it up like he ain't get hacked. Whoa, all the women in your phone, can we check the age? Wasn't you on Epstein Island, can we check the page? Hunter needs to be in prison, put him in a cage. I thought he was clean, seems like he ain't changed his ways. And now they working for Verizon, how he get a raise? 10% for the big guy, who all getting paid? I still don't know why he recorded, is it blackmail? But do you really think any of them will go to jail? And satanic and all of them will go to hell? You a lame Hunter and your daddy lame as well. It's obvious, but if you blind and read it in braille, will the corruption never end? Only time will tell. President's son is a crackhead, but you the smartest guy, he know that's what your dad said. Is he the real president or a jack leg? Why is everyone that voted for your dad dead? Hey, you know what's really wild? Got your own son calling you a pedophile. Why you getting called that by your own child? They say Pedro Peter every time the phone down. Wow, Hunter arguing with hookers while they wearing crack. Whoa, they call it a conspiracy, but I'm saying facts. Whoa, in the mention up in Cali, but who pay for that? Whoa, the media gon' cover it up like he ain't get hacked. Whoa.
And he's just going to ride off into the sunset just like Roger Clinton did, right? Because Roger Clinton, he was the big cokehead that they pinned everything on. You know, anything that was bad with the Clintons, it was Roger's fault, right? Including, you know, the smuggling ring that they had coming into Little Rock. So this is something that is not new. And he'll never be held accountable. None of them will be held accountable. These people out there on both sides are fucking delusional. Oh, they're going to get Trump this time. Trump's going down. Oh, they're going to get Hunter. They indicted him. You guys, there's two, you know, it's one big club and you ain't in it. They don't convict each other. They play games with each other. Okay, so here we go. Let's talk about the New World Order because they are busy this week. We see all kinds of initiatives going down state to state, quarantine camps. They can take your kids. Like, there's so much shit that, I mean, we've been telling you guys this for years now, but we're at a point where we're not only telling you about it, it's happening. It is happening in real time. So check this out.
And of course, firings at Twitter have left us with no one to call to flag content that is abusive or even incitement to violence. We're now seeing that almost anyone can promote disinformation for the price of a blue tick. So it's not all bad. We have teamed up with the platforms to elevate reliable information around COVID and climate, to amplify trusted messengers, and we have quite an army of them out there who want to take UN content and promote it within their followings, and also educating users on how to slow the spread of disinformation. Our new slogan that we want to have everybody have in their ear when they're online is pause, take care before you share.
Pause, take care before you share.
But yet we do feel like we are in an information war, and that we need to massively ramp up our response.
Damn right, it's a war.
So we're creating at the UN a central capacity to monitor and also have the ability to rapidly react when mis and disinformation and hate speech is threatening not just our people, our operations, but also the issues and the causes that we're working on. But also, we're going to be gearing up our verified initiative around climate change and developing this UN Code of Conduct on information integrity on digital platforms, hoping to set global standards that we can all advocate around so that we can collectively work for a more humane internet.
Take care before you share, right? That's, you know what I always tell people? Look at the date. You know, that's the first thing. People sharing old shit from 2 years ago. I don't know how many times I've been caught up. So now I've been burned. And so many of my brothers and sisters out there, I've seen Pasta do it, like I'll send a message, be like, that was from 6 months ago. You got to check the date. You got to check who wrote it. Where's the source? Is it other places? That's a big one. Is it just the Village Voice that's saying it, or is 20 platforms saying it, And I love how she cries about, since Twitter went down and we don't have anybody on the inside, but we do have a partnership. So, I mean, she's saying nothing at all. And yeah, they're a little sad. It is a war. It is a war against us. Disinformation. They want to just hit us with disinformation. That's what they do. So, okay, let's talk about climate, guys. Climate action. We see a lot of climate action movements out there. And, I would have been the first person on the front fucking lines 5 years ago. But now anymore, I have to question, what am I standing for? What am I asking for? But this is good news. Came from Steven Donziger. Breaking in a huge win for the planet. A judge just dismissed charges against Indigenous leader Winona LaDuke and others for holding a ceremony on ancestral lands while protesting Line 3 pipeline. Yes, Winona has been arrested so many times, of course, out at Standing Rock, and they're constantly in court. It's a good thing that a judge, overthrew that. Anymore when it comes to fossil fuel movements or climate action movements, I really, really question who's behind it. Is there a big corporation with a ESG or whatever the hell they call it behind them, or is this actually by the people? When I see an indigenous population fighting to save their ancestral lands, or the lands our government decided to shove them on, I stand with them 100 goddamn %. Of course, water, you can't drink oil. Water is life. We know this shit. We know the planet's being destroyed by fossil fuels. But when you get on board with dumbasses like AOC and Cornel West, what are they asking for? They're not asking for the rich to pay to change, to get off fossil fuels. They're asking the poor to bear that brunt. And that I cannot get on board with.
That we organize out of hope. We organize out of commitment. We organize out of love. We organize out of the beauty of our future. And we will not give up. We will not let go. We will not allow cynicism to prevail. We will not allow our visions of a collaborative economy, of dignity for working people, of honoring the black, brown, indigenous, white working class. We will not give up.
So I have to ask myself, what am I advocating for? What am I asking for? Right? So when you get on board with people like the Sunrise Movement, is that what they're called? I forget. they're begging corporations to impose their will upon us. They're not fixing anything at the top. They're just making the bottom pay for this changeover, right? You can't drive your cars. You need to buy a smart car. Let's not even get into all of the fucking petroleum that's in a smart car, and then we see Cornell out yesterday. He's marching to end fossil fuels too.
Fossil is the end of fossil fuels. All fossil fuels. Fossil
Yeah, it's like a 9-minute video, and he ends up talking to the camera. It's not even worth it. If you want to watch it, go watch it. At the end of the day, of course, I want to see our planet quit being destroyed and poisoned, but making the poor people pay for it, and this whole "you're not going to drive anymore." How do people get to work? They're outlawing, fossil fuel engines by 2035 in some states. Like, I don't know how this plays out for the poor people. And until I do, I can't continue to ask corporations to take care of me. And I can't do it anymore. Psych Op Campaign 2024. That's what I feel like, DC. Absolutely. I'm not falling for it anymore. I fell for it for a long damn time. And now when I see those people, I used to be that person. I used to be up there holding the banner and marching and get a picture so I could put it on my Facebook and show everybody, my virtue that I'm fighting for the planet. That's all I see anymore when I see these people. Oh, look at you showing off. You're not actually doing anything to save the planet. How many plastic cups did you get from fucking Starbucks for this rally today? How many of you, drove your fossil fuel car here? The reality of it is you can't take fossil fuel cars away from every goddamn person on the planet. We can slowly phase them out if we had affordable options, but we don't have affordable options. A goddamn smart car is what, $40,000? I've been trying to save up $1,200 to fix my car for the last 6 fucking months. There's no way I'm ever going to go out and buy a smart car. And so we just need to be realistic about the climate movement. Know what we're asking for, know who we're asking from, because these guys are not out there to help us. They're out there to help themselves. But I don't think it's going to be a big deal because we're going to World War III, guys. Did you hear? Zelensky is on his way to the U.S. to kiss some ass. Of course, we saw a 60 Minutes interview drop yesterday, which I didn't bring because they'll strike me. You're not allowed to use 60 Minute stuff. And basically, he's just saying that we're fighting. You're not helping. If Putin gets into Russia or Poland, we're all screwed. So basically, you need to send me more money and probably some troops. So democracy depends on the free and open exchange of ideas included online. On this International Day of Democracy, I call on governments around the world to protect citizens' access to information that allows them to make informed decisions. And of course, that is from Liar in Chief Anthony Blinken. Oh my God, that just drips with hypocrisy. It's so gross. To make informed decisions. Is any of the planet actually informed by any mainstream media? Come on. International Day of Democracy. Free Julian Assange, you asshat. That's democracy, protected citizens. And this was yesterday, I want to say, in Mexico. You're going to see Russia and China marching in their military parade. Alliances are being made, like Brother Pasta said. Mexico's got friends. They've got friends. And did you guys see the video this week of Mexico working on the border wall? And somebody asked him, like, and he's like, oh, we're paying for this because we got to keep you guys out. Your guys' dollar is going to collapse and we don't want you invading our country. I don't know. And now they're friends with Mexico and China. That could not play well for us, right? I hate military parades. I think I've probably been to a couple because my dad, he worked for the government. He worked at the shipyard. So I think as kids, we probably had to go to a few of those. I know I got to go on the aircraft carriers. We got to go check that out. Breaking news. The U.S. military is asking the public for your help in locating a missing $80 million F-35 stealth fighter jet that disappeared over North Charleston, South Carolina. Officials have reported that there is no concrete evidence of a crash. The pilot has been found and transported to a hospital. And so, of course, at the American way, we slapped that shit on a milk carton. And if you know where the Air Force misplaced its $80 million F-35, get a hold of them. They need some help. I have so many questions. Like, if it never crashed, did he jump out and it's up there just flying around? Because those things have autopilot, right? So I don't know. But that's a breaking story from this morning. How crazy. How crazy. Okay, let's talk about Lahaina. Of course, Brother Pasta was down there a couple weeks ago. He did an amazing job of getting money into the hands of the people who needed it most. I'm so proud of him for that because that's really what we stand for in this very, raw, independent media space that we're in. We just want to help people. And I'm so proud of him that he went down there. He helped. And like he says, we're never going to find a smoking gun. There's never going to be that, aha, we got it. We know who started this, right? But at the end of the day, there's still people, they're still suffering, and they're still homeless. They still have lost everything, and including their families. They've lied to us so much about the numbers on this fire. We're never going to get the real numbers. And James O'Keefe is down there trying to figure out why the hell they're keeping the media out. Why is there no transparency?
If I was to record past this street, then I would be arrested.
You shout like that, they put you in jail.
They don't want nobody stopping on the side and taking photos.
Right away. No trial, no nothing.
If you guys park here, that's technically in violation.
You right to jail.
If we want to stop and do like a news report on the side of the road.
Right to jail, right away. Journalists, we have a special jail for journalists.
I don't know if there's anything set up for journalists.
You're driving too fast, jail. Slow, jail. Glasses, you right to jail.
Because of the fire?
Because of jail.
Because of jail. That was a pretty funny compilation from James O'Keefe. Since he left Project Veritas, people, Project Veritas, they're infiltrators, they're this, they're that. I appreciate some of the work he's put out over the years, and I don't really have an opinion on it either way. So, okay, this story, it's a little long. I think it's a 4-minute clip, but I had to bring it because I've seen nobody else talking about it, and there's a theory in it that I've heard nobody talking about. What if the CCP started those fires and our government's not telling us that it was an attack from China? I'm not saying this is what happened. I'm just saying, what if? So check this video out because there's some evidence that China had its big lasers right over Lahaina at the time of the fire. Come on.
Steve Favis is an expert in computer science and advanced robotics. He has been researching the Maui fires and has compiled evidence that the technology exists to have started these fires from a satellite in Earth orbit. He has also confirmed that the CCP had satellites capable of doing so above Maui at the time of the fires. His work has been published on his website, stevefavis.com, and includes everything you need to recreate these findings. The most efficient way to ignite a fire on the surface from a satellite in Earth orbit would be to paint the target in segments by pulsing the laser with an advanced targeting system. To see if this were possible, Favis calculated what it would require to create a meter-wide, mile-long fire. Fired from a satellite, the Earth's atmosphere will absorb and scatter some of the laser energy. And so the laser would need to be in a wavelength range that minimizes this. The most effective wavelength would be in the near-infrared range, which would allow better transmission through the atmosphere. The near-infrared range would be invisible to the naked eye and would also have a minimal reaction with objects colored blue on the Earth's surface. The power of the laser would need to be in the hundreds of kilowatts range, and so Favas based his calculations on a 10 megawatt laser firing from Earth orbit, assuming that the atmospheric loss amounts to 50% of the overall power and only 5 megawatts reaches the surface as a 1 square meter beam. It would ignite a fire almost instantly. If this 5 megawatt beam was pulsed across a 1 meter by 1 mile long area in segments, then the time to ignite the entire area would be roughly 2.7 minutes, and it would only take approximately 8.8 seconds to melt an aluminum alloy wheel. The amount of energy required to pulse a 10 megawatt laser for 2.7 minutes would require approximately 3,220 capacitors, which would amount to about 32,200 kilograms in weight. Using MetLab software and plugging in public data provided from NORAD, he found that satellites launched and monitored by the CCP were directly above the Maui fires at the time of ignition. The CCP's most powerful rocket, the March 5, can launch up to 48,500 kilograms of payload, which is more than enough to carry the required payload in Favas's calculations. But Favas has found that the CCP has much more powerful lasers deployed already. He has calculated that the CCP has up to 70 gigawatt lasers in Earth orbit right now. That's at least 100 times more powerful than what he factored into these calculations. Adjusting NORAD's default Coordinated Universal Time, or UTC, to the local time zones, Favas found the following. The Olinda fire was ignited at approximately 10:47 p.m. on August 7th. At this exact time, CCP satellite labeled NORAD 53299 was directly over the location. The Lahaina fire was ignited at approximately 6:37 a.m. on August 8th. At this exact time, CCP satellite labeled NORAD 55836 was directly over the location. The Kula fire was ignited at approximately 11:30 a.m. on August 8th. At this exact time, CCP satellite labeled NORAD 53299 was directly over the location. The so-called deep state does not want you to know that deadly lasers of mass destruction are freely traveling.
Wow, I didn't know that that one cut was in there, that body on the ground. Wow. Okay. Total conspiracy, guys. That is a conspiracy. I haven't heard anybody else talk about it. Now let's talk about why. Why would they want to blame this on the CCP? Would the CCP want to hit Hawaii? I mean, Japan certainly did. Why? Because it's closest to them, right? We know they're building a lot of bases in the Pacific, right? But ultimately, people are like, oh, that's crazy. China would never do that to us. Can we just be grown-ups for a while, guys? The governments of both Russia, China, and the United States don't have shit to do with the people of the country. Would the people of the country want to attack us? Fuck no. Would the military? Possibly, right? I mean, we are getting into this very heated potential hot war with China and Russia. We see the drums of war being beat even harder. So I don't know. What if in 6 months, the Pentagon comes out and goes, guess what, guys? We've done some research and we found out that China was the one that attacked Lahaina. And now we want them. Now we're going to respond. We will, we're going to make them pay for it. I don't underestimate this government one goddamn bit. I don't underestimate their governments one damn bit. The people of the world, we don't want this shit. The predator class, they absolutely want this shit. They want all their pockets lined. And don't think for 1 second that they don't have the technology to do this. Yes, China's got those big payloads up there. So do we, right? So we probably have Jewish space lasers that could hit them. I don't know. I just came across it and was like, That's a different theory. I hadn't heard that theory before. So there you are. Conspiracy one of the day. It's not incompetence. They're destroying the country on purpose, you dumb fucks. Yeah, absolutely. It is not. It is not incompetence. Okay, let's talk about the scabs, the total scabs. So these two are crossing the picket line by bringing their shows back, claiming they just want to get their workers paid. But they are both worth millions and could easily just pay the workers out of their own massive bank accounts. So 125 million and 140 million. Total scabs, right? And what it comes down to is they don't want to lose their audience. If you go dormant for way too long, and I know my numbers are super low today because I've been on vacation for 2 weeks, viewers drop off, they find somewhere else to go. And I know that's what both of them are scared of. So Drew apparently doesn't like being called a scab because yesterday she announced that she has no longer resuming her talks to resume her show. I'm making the decision to pause the show permanently or premiere until the strike is over. So she did record a couple of shows last week, but they're not going to air them because, yeah, the whole weight of the unions came down on her. And celebrities, my house is available for $5,000 an hour. If you want to look poor in your apology videos, please bookmark just in case. Yeah. Why do they always have these humble looking backgrounds when they're doing their apology videos? And of course you have Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis there. They had to come out and apologize for the super nice letters they wrote about Danny Masterson to the judge because they got caught, right? Fucking scabs. Freaking scabs. That's all they are. Let's see. Blanking on Elon's influence over the war in Ukraine. Now, we've talked about this a lot. I know we've talked about it. We've talked it on Beauty and the Boomer. You know, DARPA and the Pentagon, they gave all this power to Elon. We've called it out. That's why we call him DARPA boy. And now the liberals are just upset because, God damn it, they couldn't have a hot war and start World War III because Elon shut off the satellites. And this is Jake's. And this is, I think this video is funny if I remember right.
SpaceX CEO Elon Musk has recently confirmed a report that last year Musk blocked access to his Starlink satellite network in Crimea. Should there be repercussions for that?
Not at all, Jake. Elon Musk saved the world from a bigger war by refusing to accept Zelensky's demands.
Really? None of this concerns you?
Not at all, and I think you should be happy about it too, but you're not because you work for CNN, and CNN is a warmonger who profits more as the war escalates. So, you, Jake.
So, fuck you, Jake. I wish everybody would say that when they're on there. That's hilarious. One of you guys had a really funny comment. I can't remember. Good research, Beauty and the Boomer. Thanks, Kate. I just try to bring you guys stuff that nobody else is talking about. And, you know, I take attacks for it. Oh, you crazy conspiracy theorists. Now you're attacking China. I can already see it later today. And no, I'm not attacking China. I'm just saying, what if our government convinces us that's what happened? And that's not what happened at all. You can't believe anything anywhere anymore at all. This is a story that was from a couple of weeks ago that we didn't get a chance to talk about. Of course, this is a follow-up to Obama's chef. Remember the one that drowned? And there's a lot of shady shit that's starting to come out about this. And first of all, he was naked. Why was he naked? Why was he paddleboarding naked? And we just found that out. The local police did not log a call when it came to the actual 911 call. They when you look at their 911 records, it's just an empty spot right there. Why? Because they're covering up for somebody. And I noticed while I was gone, the whole Obama's gay story just spread like wildfire. And I'm like, I've been telling you guys this story for months now. Come on. Okay, so let's check it out. I think this is Lou.
Scene. That is a question that we've been asking for a while. We seem to be the only people that ever actually ask these questions anymore, but it remains such a mystery to us, the death at Barack Obama's mansion. Barack Obama has a 30-acre mansion in Martha's Vineyard. Barack Obama likes his privacy. Barack Obama has a very tight-knit group of people around him, and one of those people, his name's Tafari Campbell. Tafari Campbell was a competent swimmer, a good swimmer, and was an athlete. He was in great shape. Tafari Campbell went for a paddleboard one night with a mysterious young woman who was also an Obama staffer, and they never came back. What we now know is that Tafari Campbell didn't have any of his clothes on when he went paddleboarding.
What?
Yeah, that's news.
Hey,
that's
what?
New.
It's not even funny, but what? You didn't have no clothes on, huh? This story is getting fishy. Fishy and fishy and fishy, boys.
Yeah, the story is fishy. Why are we just now hearing he didn't have clothes on? We're being told that he was with another Obama staffer who has not been named. We've had no statements come out about this. And let us not forget that Obama was out there sporting a couple of broken fingers and a black eye immediately after this incident. I'm just saying, where there's smoke, there's fire, and there's so much more to this story. We're going to keep an eye on it. But it's come out in the last couple of weeks that Obama might have a kill list kind of like the Clintons. So that story will unfold. It's taken many years for us to get the full picture of the Clintons. And I think it's going to take us many years to get the full picture of Obama. But we were sold a lie. We were sold a con. We bought it hook, line, and sinker, hope and change. They weren't coming via that, man. Swimming naked is fun. Nothing gay about it. No, I don't think that either. Everybody goes skinny dipping. But do you go skinny dipping on the former president's compound? Like, it just doesn't make sense. I don't think I would. I'm a friend of the Obamas. It's okay. I'm naked. It just seems weird. There's still so many questions. And why was there such a cover up on this? Why we haven't been allowed to hear so much about this story. So, Obama. Guess what, guys? It is International Burger Day. You're going to go out there and get your 1 cent Wendy's burger or your 50 cent. Was it Burger King's doing 50 cent burgers? Yeah, it's International Burger Day, and they are giving burgers away. 1 cent burgers at Wendy's. But do we trust a 1 cent burger? I don't trust a 1 cent burger.
So Wendy's is selling burgers for 1 cent. That means you can get 100 burgers for $1. Right off the bat, I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all this is for testing purposes only. Experimentation purposes only. Yes, they're experimenting on people like they've been doing for years. And it's common sense to know that it's something in these burgers. And they're distributing these burgers to see how people are going to react to them, or seeing how their experiments are gonna turn out. So if you buy these burgers, just know that you were part of an experiment. And I'm gonna be real, if you buy these burgers, you're probably gonna be one of the first to die when shit hits the fan. Because you already fell for some dumb shit before, so you're gonna fall for some dumb shit again. It's honestly wild to me that I know people are going to buy these burgers. I'm gonna say it again, the people that buy these burgers are the people that's gonna be the first to die when shit hit the fan. This is an experiment, and they gonna keep on experimenting on people.
Okay, well, don't trust International Burger Day today unless you want to put your life at risk, because apparently those who eat those 1 cent burgers, they're out of here. We see these type of deals on, Donut Day. Dunkin' Donuts will have discounts, whatever, but I do find it odd. You literally could get 100 burgers for $1 at Wendy's today. Now, I know my local Wendy's could never keep up with that. If I put 100 burger order in, they'd still be making it 3 hours later. So good luck with that, people out there. And yeah, they're Asperger's. Oh, Warren, that's too funny. Yeah, Asperger's. Sam Smith's new look looks a lot like Epstein's Island. Oh, what is it with these people? Yeah, it even freaked out Alex Jones. Of course, Sam Smith is the one who did the satanic ritual at the Grammys with the devil horns, and he was naked. All of those turn into satanic rituals, and the festivals do too. Got to tell you, I was very leery about crowds when I was at the festival. But as far as COVID goes, I did wake up sick yesterday. I was a little worried that I was in those huge crowds, but I'm fine. I'm fine. Let's see. The WEF calls for COVID concentration camps to jail refuseniks who question the official narrative. The WEF is getting their way with governments. They're urging governments to build concentration camps. Now, we see legislation being passed in fucking New York and California for this shit. They're just preparing for the next time, but we've been warning you guys since 2020 about this shit. We told you what they were doing. Brave New Future really has broken down for you. I like this meme. I'm resistance. Yeah. Vote blue no matter who. Yeah, exactly. The Squad and Pelosi. NPR. I remember when I used to watch NPR. You guys used to watch NPR? I loved to listen to NPR when I was in the car, you know. It was good. It's not good anymore. It hasn't been good in a long, long, long time. Human trials of an artificial womb could start soon. Here's what you need to know. U.S. regulators will consider clinical trials of a system that mimics the womb, which could reduce deaths and disability from babies born extremely premature. Or it could just allow the rich to dial up and order a baby, right? And God, think about it. If women didn't have to destroy their bodies, choose only one pill. Balanced budget from now on. Disband the FBI and the IRS, in the Fed, or secure U.S. border. What's the most important to you? I'm going to say let's disband the FBI and the IRS, because if you get rid of them, then it doesn't really matter what the Fed's doing because they can't enforce it, right? And is our balanced budget? Our country never has a balanced budget. And that's because so many dumbass Americans think that the U.S. economy is ran just like your personal home checkbook. And that's not exactly how it works at all. In the Fed. Okay, Popeye, I get it. In the Fed. I just feel like if we get rid of the IRS, then they can't enforce the Fed's bullshit, right? I could be wrong. I say do it all, right? Just do it all. The pharmaceutical industry made, what is that, 50 trillion or billion? That's billion in profit last year. Meanwhile, 1 in 5 Americans can't afford life-saving medications. Is nothing short as criminal negligence for that to happen. Yeah, this story kind of caught me. This is one of my local, this is Seattle, Como News. Transit operators have said that lingering drug smoke on certain routes causes them headaches, despite claims from the health officials who say that there's no real risk from secondhand opiate smoke. So the bus drivers are getting a little tipsy on the bus from everybody smoking their fentanyl meth. Oh my God. You can't make this shit up. You cannot. I don't know what to tell the bus drivers. Contact highs have been debated for my whole entire life, right? And I know I've got contact highs from like marijuana. So I'm wondering if you can get a contact high from opiate smoke. I don't know. National Propaganda Radio. Yes, DC. That is NPR for sure. In the next 10 years, there's going to be a group of kids in every middle school with one thing in common. Their parents overdosed on heroin or fentanyl and died. Let that sink in. Yes, let that sink in. Tens of thousands of kids are going to have the same story. My parents overdosed. And you know what? I already know kids. So heartbreaking. I've been meaning to reach out to Pasta. We need to do it to Hell and Back. Being at that concert the last weekend and the fight against Big Pharma, I was like, God, we got to get back into doing to Hell and Backs because it's such an important topic. And, I know I helped raise kids that have already OD'd and died, and now their babies are growing up without their parents, and it's heartbreaking. My kids as friends, this is going to be an epidemic. It already is an epidemic, but we're going to have an epidemic of orphan children from this, blight of addiction that has been putting our country in peril for so long. I came across this over on Facebook. It kind of pissed me off. So companies that hire felons, support these companies. Felons are the only class of people who are legally allowed to be discriminated against. They serve their time. That was the only positive comment I saw on the whole fucking post with 10,000 comments on it. People are like, protest these companies. How dare them? And it's places like Ace Hardware, AT&T, Best Western, Family Dollar Store, Chick-fil-A, Home Depot, Greyhound, Great Clips, Ashley's Furniture, Dairy Queen, IHOP, Buffalo Wings, Macy's, Wendy's, Walgreens, Subway. Who else is on here? Red Lobster, Pilot, Flying J's, PetSmart, Pepsi, Papa John's, Goodyear Tires, the Golden Corral. Shit, is there still Golden Corrals around? General Mills, Blue Cross Blue Shield. I'm surprised to hear that so many of these do actually hire felons. Domino's, Dollar Tree, Denny's, Kmart, Lowe's, Walmart, Verizon, Sprint, all the phone companies, Sam's Club, Steak and Shake, never heard of that, Pizza Hut, and KFC. What do you guys think about this? I think they've served their fucking time. And if they've been released, then why are we putting a foot on their back and holding them down with their felony status? I have been around, I have been with felons, and it destroys their life 100% You go out, you cannot get a job. You're automatically, your job pool is a little tiny, especially if you're in a rural town, of who will actually hire you. I think it's disgusting that people are on Facebook beating people down who've already served their time. And I think it's terrible. I fight for the felons, man. Okay, I hate to break it to you guys, but you only have like 5 days left to get your life in order. Because apparently September 23rd is the end of the world. And it's not just one. It's like, check this out. This is kind of crazy. Oz, I know you're listening to this, so you better be prepared.
For years on September 23rd, conspiracies that the world is coming to an end have flooded the internet. These theories are sparked by the overwhelming appearance of the numbers 9, 2, and 3 appearing in numerous television shows and movies. I'm just going to go through this list. Third rock from the sun. There was a meteor that was scheduled to hit the planet in 2015.
And yet everyone on the planet gets all worked up about these pointless little behaviors, blissfully unaware of the great vaporizing meteor due in 2015.
The Big Bang Theory, an asteroid strikes September 23rd. The Volcano movie 239 in the license plate. Seeking a friend at the end of the world, an asteroid strikes on September 22nd, 23rd, and ends the world. The movie Deep Impact, starring Morgan Freeman. The asteroid would strike on 9/22. Evan Almighty, he said the date of the flood is September 22nd.
Until September 22nd, midday. And if the arc isn't finished by then, you will be.
Is that when it's going to happen? September 22nd, midday?
The movie Knowing, the date of September 22nd and 23rd, the Earth is destroyed by a solar flare. Little Shop of Horrors, you had this September 23rd event that humans will encounter a deadly threat. The movie Tomorrowland, disaster strikes on September 23rd. In NCIS, The Last Man Standing was the episode Do They Know 23? No, that signal there. In Jim Carrey's movie 23, he mentions the date September 23rd as the day that hell arrives. In the TV show Sleepy Hollow, September 23rd, a new dimension is opened. Hello?
Maybe September 23rd.
September 23rd, 1780.
Evil is released.
Okay, I could let that play for the next 2 minutes, but you get it. Every damn TV show, movie, it's all predicted that September 23rd will be the last day of Earth. But I got to tell you guys a crazy ass story. When I saw this, I was like, no fucking way. Because my mother was a genius, but she was like a beautiful mind. Like the first time I ever watched A Beautiful Mind, I just bawled my eyes out because it was like what it was like to, interact with my mother. One day, my mother drags me into her bedroom and she's fighting with her satellite TV. This was like 5 years ago. And she says, the TV keeps giving me a message. It's telling me that the end of the world is on September 23rd. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Right. And she pulls out all these papers and on her TV, yes, it's saying this code that has September 23rd in it. So I just had to say, maybe mom was right again. I don't know.
4 years.
Kind of crazy. So get your shit in order, guys. Get your shit in order and have a good time. And do what you will for your last moments, right? How do you want your last moments, I guess is what it comes down to. Most movies come out in holiday season. Yeah, right? Well, after September 23rd. This is kind of sad. Pet owners resort to cheaper food as inflation weighs on wallets. So food and chew toys are normally untouched when budgets are stretched. This is changing. And I get it. You want to, save a little bit of money. But I can't do that with my animals because I've learned firsthand when I give them cheap food, it makes them fucking sick. Like, it's the first time that ever really dawned on me. Like I took my cat to the vet and I was like, I don't know why his hair is falling out, blah, blah, blah. She runs some allergy tests. Well, she's like, for one, he's allergic to gluten. I'm like, he's a cat. What do you mean he's allergic to gluten? She's like, you can't give him anything that is, like a wheat-based or a corn-based food. It's going to make him lose his hair. It's going to make him sick. So I had to put my cat on the most expensive food on the market. I give him Blue, which is meat-based. I know there's a couple of other better ones out there. And the change in my cat in 6 months was insane. He went from hardly having any hair to being the fluffiest, most beautiful cat you would ever see. And that was the first time I went, wow, it really does matter what you feed your animals. So therefore, it really matters what you feed yourself. I am very proud of myself. I've been eating well the whole time I was on vacation. I did nothing but fruits and vegetables and protein. I've cut out carbs and sugars, and I'm going to stay that way right now. So don't feed your guys shitty food to your animals, please. Just don't do it. Don't do it. I give up so much so my cats can have everything that they need. It's just, or make their diet, right? I know Oz makes his own pet food. Like they feed their puppies pumpkin. Blue Wilderness has lawsuits against them for making animals sick. Yeah, I think they all do. What is the other one? It's not Blue. It's I'm trying to think of it. There's another really good one out there too, but they're expensive. They're always expensive. I covered this on Saturday. Apple reportedly told employees to keep quiet about iPhone 12's radiation levels. So, there's been a lot of reports out there that the new iPhone 12 is admitting much higher radiation levels than even their previous phones, which had very bad radiation levels. And let's see, stop being a Russian cunt. Yeah, fuck you. But I brought that because I wanted to remind everybody, if you are in our area, you can make it down to Port Townsend. Amber and I and some other friends, Franklin, will be hosting Technology, Radiation, Health, and Your Future. Discover our quickly changing digital environment. Something for everybody, something for you. Connect and learn and share knowledge and solutions. We are bombarded by technology all day long, whether it's your router, whether it's your cell phone. There is things you can do to minimize your exposure to what these phones are dumping on us. And that is, you can shut your routers off at night. Don't sleep with your phone. I'm terrible about it because I sleep with my phone because I always have my earbuds in. But there is a lot of ways that you can protect yourself. And that's what that meeting's going to be about. So it's at 620 Tyler Street in Port Townsend. And that'll be from 2 to 4 on September 30th. Now, that is a Saturday for Beauty and the Boomer Day, but we're going to probably do a movie night. I think Oz says he wants to do something that night. So I think I'll be back in time. We can maybe do a movie night or something. Okay, guys, we've done it. We've hit Meme Alley. Let's check out the memes from this week. What memes did we get? Okay, voters, corrupt politicians, corrupt politicians, corrupt politicians. Imagine refusing service to absolutely the hungriest demographic that you will have ever walked into your restaurant. If you smell like marijuana on you, we will not serve you. Yeah, that's just dumb. People get stoned, they want to eat. That's just a stupid one. I've reached the age where everything I think happened 2 or 3 years ago actually happened in 2003. Yeah, that's so me. Just like yesterday. Profanity is so low class. Me. Apologies, my good bitch. What does seem to be the fuck? Yeah, you guys always jump on me for my language, but it's who I am. I can't change who I am. So that one was for Oz. Let's see what else do we got here. Meme Alley. Every trailer park's got a dark meme alley. What people think rebellion looks like, what it actually looks like. Hell yeah, that's exactly what it's going to look like. Everybody camping, everybody taking care of each other. If you had to cook like this, could you? Oh, God, yes. Oh, please. I would love to cook like that. I love to cook like that. I actually took my cast iron camping with me. I can cook like that. I've lived in a couple of communes. I can do that, no problem. If an itchy butthole was a person, oh, definitely. God, somebody told me she was 80. Was it Jimmy? Jimmy said she's 80. I don't know if I buy that, but even if it's true, it just goes to prove that money can save time on your face for sure. Okay, a couple more in the meme alley. So let me get this straight. I go to the grocery store and buy a pound of sliced ham in a plastic bag, a loaf of bread in a plastic bag, a gallon of milk in a plastic jug, a pack of napkins in a plastic wrap, a store-made salad in a plastic tub, a plastic bottle of mustard and ketchup, but they won't give me a plastic bag to carry it home in because the plastic bag is bad for the environment. That's a good point. Americans, Bobart's titties, U.S. war crimes. Yes, Bobart's titties seem to be more important than anything the U.S. is actually doing right now, right? And the alien paper mache was just a cake. That makes sense. This is where we keep our studies of where increasing supplies of luxury homes solved affordable housing crisis. Yes, gentrification is going to save us all, isn't it? Okay, I think we got a few more here. When you're headed to the movies with Lauren Bobart, that one's bad. Let's see. Gen X, the only generation that became 30 at the age of 10 and is still 30 at the age of 50. And I absolutely agree and relate to that. We were the latchkey generation. We had to raise ourselves. There was nobody protecting us. And now that we're 50, we feel like we're a little younger than we were. So 50 is coming up fast for me. I only got a couple more months. Okay, here's your question of the day. It's your birthday in 1991. You can pick one of them to perform at your party. Who do you pick? Let's see. You got Axl Rose. Is that the guy from Cinderella? I don't even know who the second guy is. You got Vince Neil. Sebastian Bach. Oh, definitely not that poser from Poison. Ozzy. I've seen Ozzy so many times. I'm going to go with Morris Time and the motherfucking Day because he could put on a show. And I've seen most of these rocker shows. What say you? Who's playing your birthday party in 1991? I was 17 years old in 1991. I was. And this is a really good idea. See this? Kitchen islands with built-in compost and hydroponic garden. This is a cool idea. Morris Day for sure. I agree, Uncle Warren. GNR, yeah, I do love me some Axel, but Axel, he's not looking so good today. I saw a meme that said he's turning into Benny Hill. Kind of is. You were 3, Anthony. That's okay. You still have good taste in music. We used to have Village Idiots, but what's the fucking internet? The fuckers have gone global. Yeah, that is true. I think this hydroponic station island is a really cool idea. You guys know that Snorky's been helping me get an in-grow grow up started, and my neighbor lady brought me some little pepper starts. So I got to get my stuff built sooner versus later because those peppers, they need some light. The gardening update. What's going on? The garden is the water shut off. They shut our outside water off. So now I'm packing water to the few remaining things that are still out there in bloom. The American sunflowers just popped this morning. So I'll go out there and get you guys a picture. They were so much smaller, but they're different. They're prettier, I think, because they're tinier. They're not the big old things. Oh my God, I want one, right? I know, me too. Okay, so let's see. Pet ritual is the way the air smells after it rains. But what causes it? When the rainwater hits the soil, compounds like ozone, gosmin, I don't even know what gosmin is, and various plant oils get released into the air. This is what causes that iconic earthy smell after rainfall. Pet ritual. That's what it's called. I love you guys. You're so diverse. Everybody's like, one person's like, I love this. I hate this. Yeah, we're all human. We all like and hate different things. Let's see. A fight for Assange. So TV set for good behavior. This is a look inside Assange's his cell that he's been confined to. It's terrible. Look at that. Can you imagine being shoved in there for almost 5 years now? Nope, me neither. 3.5 by 2. So that's a 7-foot by 12-foot cell that Assange is in. So please, let's write Assange, guys. I've been saying it forever now. All it takes is make a screenshot real fast. There's his address. It doesn't even have to be a letter. It can be a postcard, just something to say, we're out here fighting for you still. And there's been lots of stuff going on. Of course, there's a festival going on. And this is in German, so I can't really tell you who any of the acts are. Shelley Quest is one of them. That's all I know. If you are on that side of the world, go hang out. That's cool. But I saw yesterday that Melbourne for Assange has been doing a ton of actions. Just go follow those pages. Action for Assange, Candles for Assange, Melbourne for Assange. Of course, Misty Winston does an amazing job of tweeting out everybody's stuff and keeping us informed of what's going on with Assange. So make sure you're following Misty. That, and she's been doing some killer interviews lately. I know she's got Jason Burmis later this week. So I think we're out of here. And oh my God, we're on time. How the hell did I do that? You can join Oz and I this weekend for Beauty and the Boomer. Of course, we had our first one back this weekend and my internet tanked, but that's the way it is. Oh, I see. I got the Peppy Frog here. Good. I'm so glad he made it. And let's see, what announcements do I have for you guys? I'm back on regular schedule, so I will be here Monday, Wednesday mornings, and then of course Saturdays for Beauty and the Boomer. I will do an uncensored, but probably not till next week. And I'm trying to get Pasta's ass in the chair to do a To Hell and Back with me. But is that boy busy? I saw him over hanging out with Kit this morning on Harlan's Media. And I know he's hosting the next 6 episodes of Jimmy Dore. So make sure you're tuning in and supporting Brother Pasta over on the Jimmy Dore Show, because I'm so proud of him. You know, to be in this space with so many amazing people that were just fighting for change, and to see where they're going now. Like, look at where Fee is. Look at where Pasta is. Look at how Kit is growing over at Harlan's Media and so many others that, you know, we support and watch. So let's support them when they're out there doing it. And let me shout out the chats one more time before I get out of here. Thank you guys so much for joining me on my first day back. Well, I was a little rusty, but I'm getting back into the flow of it. Kate, thank you so much for always sharing and tweeting us out and being so supportive. DC, you crack me up. Who else is in here? Uncle Warren. Did you have a show on Saturday, Warren? Because we sent people, but then I think I got a message saying you didn't have a secret show. So you'll have to let me know so that way we can pump up your show for you. Aspen Fallen, so good to see you. Salty's Digital Dive. Who else is in here? Cowboy Kitty's here. Hi, Cowboy Kitty. I just vision a cat riding with on a cow, or a horse with a cow hat. There we go. Popeye the Sailor was here. Of course, I already got DC. Anthony, good to see you, Anthony. Okay, if I didn't get you, I'm so sorry. I'll get you the next time. And let's make sure I didn't miss anybody on the other channels. Oh, well, welcome. Okay. Kick, good to see you. Rumble, good to see you. And of course, the Rokfin. Thank you so much, Fred Edwards, Gregory Walker. Who else is on the Rokfins? Denver Attaway's hanging out over there, and so is Jim. Hi, Jim. Good to see you. Scroll. I know. I told Oz I was going to start wearing my glasses. I'm sorry. I will. Biogotic. Okay, welcome. Some of these call names are hard for me. I admit it. It's hard. Well, if I didn't shout you out, I apologize. You know, I always try to shout out my chats. I appreciate you guys more than anything. I wouldn't be here without you guys. And I got to tell you, I did a little contemplating while I was off for the last 2 weeks. Like, what am I doing? Am I happy in the space I'm doing? Am I happy with the format that I'm doing? And I think I'm going to change some things up, but I want your guys' influence. I want your guys' input on this. You know, I write these shows for you. I don't write them for me. I see all the information, right? So do you want longer segments where I just reiterate the same shit over and over for 20 minutes? Or do you want me to move through the deck as fast as I do? I don't know. Reach out, Twitter. Let me know what you think. I want to make it to where you guys love it, because that's the only reason I'm here, is to give you guys information, to have a good time, to hang out with this community. So I just want your guys' input. Okay, so I'm going out with a song today called Save Me. This was wrote by Jelly Roll, the guy I went and saw this weekend. Of course, this isn't him performing it. This is a cover, but the song just moves me, because I feel like so many of us, we get broken so young, right? You know, when you're growing up, you grow up in a dysfunctional home like I did. I never knew anything but dysfunction. And so as an adult, I'm embracing the healing of that. And I think everybody has some story somewhat like that. So thank you guys for joining me. I will be back Wednesday morning, and we are back on schedule. So thank you for joining me. Love you guys.
Somebody save me from myself. I spent so long living in hell. They say my lifestyle is bad for my health. It's the only thing that seems to help. All of this drinking and smoking is hopeless. Feels like it's all that I need. Something inside of me is broken. I hold on to anything, sets me free. I'm a lost cause. Baby, don't waste your time on me. I'm so damaged beyond repair. Life has shattered my hopes and my dreams. I'm a lost cause. Baby, don't waste your time on me. I'm so damaged beyond repair. Life has shattered my hopes and my dreams. What if the night sky was missing the moon? There were no shooting stars, just wishing on you. All of my sorrows just wash them down. It's the only peace I've ever found. All of this drinking and smoking is hopeless. Feels like it's all that I need. Something inside of me is broken. I hold on to anything, sets me free. I'm a lost cause. Baby, don't waste your time on me. I'm so damaged beyond repair. Life has shattered my hopes and my dreams. I'm a lost cause. Baby, don't waste your time on me. I'm so damaged beyond repair. Life has shattered